If you can get these 3 key phases, you're gonna dominate the dropshipping scene and be well on your way to creating a literal money printer. So in this video, I'm gonna take my 4 years of dropshipping experience and condense it into a 3-part framework that I would religiously follow if I was starting my e-commerce journey all over again today. All right, let's get straight into phase 1, which I like to call plant the seed. This is like those first few steps that you take when you're trying something entirely new. Now, if you're jumping into dropshipping with absolutely zero experience, the biggest hurdle is going to be getting a handle of all the moving parts and starting out on the right foot, because it's honestly so easy to get lost and overloaded with misinformation. I really can't stress enough the importance of educating yourself enough, or just doing the proper research. There's a bunch of content on YouTube for you guys to learn and soak up information. Some creators that I think do a really good job of explaining the model are Davey Fogarty, the Ecom King, and Jordan Welsh. And those are just to name a few of the creators on YouTube, but there's definitely a lot more out there. Now, after you've gotten a good feel of things, maybe you've been able to learn a little bit, it's time to think about your commitment level. So if I were starting out today and I wanted to get the absolute best results, I would focus all of my attention on perfecting each aspect of the dropshipping model. Because the reality is success in dropshipping requires a very deep level of dedication, almost like having an obsession. Remember that the effort that you invest directly correlates with the rewards that you'll reap. Basically, what you put in is what you're gonna get out. Now, where do you begin? Well, start by understanding how to identify a potential winning product, because your product is quite literally where the whole business stems from. So you should look at what makes other products successful or other brands successful, then analyze those competitors. Then you can make a list of your top 5 product ideas. You want to make sure that the products are within passionate communities. They aren't just like trendy gadgets or Amazon gadgets. And they also offer a potential for expanding out the product line. It's important not to let your personal preferences cloud or even take over your product selection, because the market's interest is what truly counts, not necessarily what you like or what you would want to buy. After selecting your product and weighing out the pros and cons of moving forward with it, you then need to brainstorm a brand name that resonates with your community. Then you can create your Shopify store using any one of these 3 free themes, which are Sense, Refresh, and Dawn. But you want to be using your competitors as some sort of like reference when building out the store, and to optimize the site for mobile users, because you have to remember that 99% of people that are going to be visiting your website are just going to be on their phone. And like I said, there is a bunch of YouTube content on building a website. I also have countless step-by-step tutorials on my channel if you kind of need that detailed step-by-step learning. Then once the website is properly set up, I'm now ready to move on to phase 2. Phase 2 is what I like to call get to the lab. And this phase is all about experimenting to see if your chosen product is actually a true winner. And this is where you need to decide whether or not you want to use paid advertising, organic advertising, or kind of like a mix of both. Paid ads are to show your product to like a bunch of people quickly by paying for views and clicks, while organic advertising is more rather focused on making like really cool and interesting content that people want to share, which ends up helping your product get noticed and naturally go viral. And to be honest, in my opinion at least, the best performing content, the kind that truly resonates with people and audiences, is often organic, because it's not so much about pushing a product in front of people's faces and almost making it as if they're like forced to buy the product, but instead creating a genuine connection with them, which then results in their willingness to buy the product from you. So I would start by posting organic content, particularly focusing on user-generated videos, or UGC, user-generated content, and post onto Instagram Reels and TikTok to kind of use it like a creative testing ground. And any video that, let's just say, hits over 100,000 views, I would then repurpose onto paid ad campaigns. Because since we know that that video naturally resonated with an audience, then that means that it has all the elements to do well when you're actually paying for clicks on media buying platforms. And the real essence of this testing period is to determine if your product is just popular or actually going to be profitable for you. Because at the end of the day, likes and views, they are absolutely great. Everyone loves them. But it's about making sure that people are willing to open their wallets for what you're offering, and whether or not you can make a living from building this business from one single product. You can kind of think of it as using this one product to get your foot in the door to really building a sustainable business. And this allows you to really hone in on each product's special features and fine-tune both your product and your advertising strategies, so you give each product the detailed attention that it needs for a fair shot at success. After you tested a product for about 2 to 3 weeks and you've been able to analyze the results, then you need to make this tough decision to run this business, this is now a business, as simply a side hustle or taking things to the next level. Now, if you want to continue to run the business as a side hustle and allocate your spare time, that's totally fine. Don't worry. But if I were running this business, as I said earlier, but I wanted to get the absolute best results, I would want to take things to the next level. Which brings us to phase 3, what I like to call the liftoff phase. This is where the real growth begins, when you start piecing together everything that you've worked on. Now, at this point, we really need to understand the goal of starting a dropshipping business. Are you aiming for a quick buck, or do you want to establish an evergreen business that thrives in the long run? And the choice that you make right here will significantly influence your strategies going forward. Because there's only 3 things that actually matter when you're trying to build a successful e-commerce business. And that's product quality and innovation, efficient operations and logistics, brand building, and customer loyalty. Firstly, product quality and innovation. The heart of your business is your product. So constantly improving your product quality and staying ahead with new customizations and improvements is going to be so important, and you can do this by working direct with your manufacturers. This keeps your existing customers super happy and at the same time attracts brand new ones. Secondly is efficient operations and logistics. A seamless logistics process is absolutely key. This has to do with everything from faster shipping options to ensuring your supply chain is both robust and reliable. What it's really about is minimizing headaches and in turn improving customer satisfaction. And this is where a fulfillment platform like AutoDS is going to be a big help. So the platform allows you to basically automate the customer order process, making sure that operations are as efficient as possible. It takes care of everything from importing brand new products onto your Shopify store to fulfilling those orders, so that, let's just say you're doing more than 5, 10 plus orders a day, instead of having to manually import the customer's info each and every time and purchasing each unit, which it takes a long time, you just have to buy credits on the platform, turn on the automation, and the orders will get auto-fulfilled and the customer will be notified with tracking updates. It's kind of like having your product pipeline on autopilot so that your store doesn't run into these major fulfillment hiccups, which could be a massive and total disaster. Now, whenever I set up a new store, I just use AutoDS from the get-go to import the product link from AliExpress onto the store. Since those SKUs are going to be linked up, the inventory management is essentially going to be streamlined. So we've worked on the product quality and potential product modifications. We've created a seamless logistics process. Then we want to build a brand and improve customer loyalty, because the idea is to build a brand, not just a dropshipping store. In order to do that, we must develop a strong brand identity and focus on building customer loyalty through the following: exceptional service, engaging marketing, and a community around the brand. And the next question we need to ask ourselves is, how do we stand out in dropshipping? Think about how we can provide value that goes way beyond just a transaction. Can you educate your customers? Can you make their lives easier or more enjoyable with your products? It's about creating a brand that resonates on a deeper level with your audience. Also think about how you can leverage technology to improve customer experience. So you can use data analytics to understand your customers better, then personalize your marketing, tailor your product offerings, and even customize the shopping experience on your website based on your customer behavior or their preferences. You can think of this how certain brands have a very specific language that they use on their websites of their ads or, their paid ad campaigns. For example, think about how Hypebeast clothing brands, they use a very, very specific terminology. They don't just release new products. What they'll say is that they're going to announce like a hoodie drop. And this makes the brand more relatable and memorable, which helps to foster a strong connection with their audience. So think about the language and the tone that would resonate best with your target market. Is it professional? Is it casual and trendy? Or are you relating to a Gen Z audience? The words that you use, the tones that you set will all contribute to the overall brand experience, and they will make a massive difference in how your brand is perceived. And lastly, always be ready to adapt and evolve. E-commerce is constantly changing every year, every month, and so are consumer behaviors. Stay on top of trends and be flexible in your approach. Now, if you stayed with me till the end of this video, it is clear you're genuinely committed to mastering the art of dropshipping and building a legitimate e-commerce brand. So try to remember that every big achiever, they start somewhere, and you guys are already on the right path. I can't wait to see where the journey takes you. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.